Hello and welcome to the Principality of Sealand in the post-truth apocalypse. I'm Prince Ben. I'm joined by Prince Mike.
Hello.
Princess Claire.
Hey.
And the man who cleans the box, Pete. This week we're talking about the Principality of Sealand, the world's smallest, well, let's say country. State.
Micro-state.
Micro-state.
Is it not classed as a country? It's got its own flag as well, isn't it? So
They petitioned continuously.
I knew nothing of this island's existence until you brought it up, Mike.
Right, let's thanks for returning this specialised star. Beach in Australia, Eccles in the United Kingdom, Zagreb in Croatia, Denton, Maryland, Dagenham in the UK, Utica, is that how I say it? Utica?
Yeah,
Utica,
it's
Michigan.
probably Utica, isn't it?
Utica, Guadalajara, Spain, Bourne End in the United Kingdom, Dublin, Ireland, Scarsdale, New York, I'm into the top 10 now, Memphis, Tennessee, Bengaluru, India, and Ashburn, Virginia. Thank you all for listening.
Thanks, Ashburn.
It's much appreciated. So let's start with Sealand. Now, the Principality of Sealand is a unique little micronation with colourful history. It's located 6 miles off the eastern shore of Britain, which puts it just outside of British territorial waters.
Okay.
Which is an interesting fact in how this country's came to still exist.
Yeah, it's the main one, really.
Well, it is, yeah. It is, absolutely. Now, it is one of 4 Monsell naval sea forts deployed by Britain during World War II. The architect was called Monsell, and the concept dates back to the Napoleonic War. The Royal Navy tried to attack Corsica and was driven off by these little round forts in the middle of the sea. And the British went, you know what, it's a fucking good idea that is, we'll build a few of them ourselves. So we did. And then in the World War II rolled around and the enemy's at the gates, we went back to the idea, we revisited it and said, you know what, not a bad idea that.
Makes sense, doesn't it,
yeah.
for an island?
Exactly. And they built 4 of these.
How did they build them, Ben?
They're just basically just pontoon boats that have been sunk. So you've got the pontoon boat itself, 2 hollow concrete legs for it to stand on, pillars, and then a platform which can be added to. So yeah, it's a very simple construction, and they tow it into place and just controlled sink the pontoon. Weight of the concrete pushes it down straight.
down.
I'd imagine it's a very similar principle of how they do your oil rigs and things like that.
To be fair, I honestly don't know how they put them there. I have never looked into that, and I should do, really, because I find them quite interesting. In a nerdy, geeky kind of way, like, wow, oil rigs. Wouldn't fancy working on that.
No, I've got a friend that works on them.
Money's meant to be
I'd
great.
say I wouldn't mind the money.
Mm.
You get
Yeah,
a
but
good bit of time off and that.
He's on there for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. 12-hour shift on, 12
but
hours
then he's
off.
off for 2 or 3 weeks, and then he goes back on for 2 or 3 weeks. It works like that, doesn't it? So it's give and take.
You work half a year, don't you, basically?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
there's
it
not
works
a lot
out.
to do on the rigs.
No.
Well, there isn't, that's why you have 3 weeks off when you get home. Get out of your system. It was originally called Ruff's Tower, what's now Sealand, and it was used to monitor and report German mine laying in the waters off England. And during the war,
During the war.
it was home to 150 to 300 personnel, radar equipment, 2 6-inch guns, as a naval gun 6-inch caliber, not the barrel is 6 inches long.
So 150 to 300 people, that puts it to quite a good size then, really. Can't see what.
I was questioning
Is it
how...
hollow? Are the legs hollow
Yeah.
and lived in?
The legs
Yeah.
are hollow, yes.
So are they lived in as well then?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of the logistics of it kind of thing, like how they must have had to completely line the inside of the legs and things like that with something water
I'd imagine that,
impervious
Well, it's
and-
concrete, isn't it? That's pretty impervious to water. Well, until over time it'll get eroded, but...
Well, yeah.
So you're living under the waterline.
In
Well,
some
with pressure
scenarios.
and things like, because
Yeah.
obviously that's 6 miles out, right? So that's fairly got to be fairly deep, isn't it? I wonder how deep that part of the sea
The
is.
pressure would be held back by the concrete.
Not
wouldn't
that deep because it was a pontoon bridge. It was sunk.
So it must be fairly shallow.
Yeah, we're not talking. It's a channel, isn't it?
Hmm.
6 miles out is nothing really. The channel's 90.
So
channel.
whereabouts are they?
20 odd miles, isn't it?
20 miles. So this is 6 miles out.
So whereabouts are they in conjunction with England?
They are literally sort of off the Thames estuary and down a bit.
it? Okay.
The west coast.
East coast.
Yeah,
East. Yeah, the right side. That's what I meant. Yeah, I was pointing the right way. I just said the wrong one.
The west would be
Okay.
facing Ireland, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yes, because we're west.
So this sort of faces, I guess, Norway and
This
Holland.
this
and
would be facing Holland, northern France, the sort of Atlantic Wall, where all the German planes are coming from in World War Two.
So it's like kind of across from London way.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that how it is?
Think of it as that, yeah.
Yeah,
It's 6
okay.
miles off the Thames estuary, basically.
Got you.
Because obviously they would use the Thames to navigate their way to London.
Yeah.
The German bombers in World War II, so they'd fly up the Thames estuary.
And they shot down a fair few of them, didn't they?
300 aircraft. This fort in particular shot down. Ruff's Tower. It had radar equipment, 2 40mm anti-aircraft guns, but it was abandoned by the Royal Navy in 1956. With the threat of invasion long over, and even the French not up for a decent scrap anymore, we thought, well, why man it? This artificial island on the high seas has been the site of a pirate radio landing pad, a takeover, a controversial declaration of independence, a coup, and its own miniature war.
Yeah.
The structure Sealand is built on, like I said, is basically a very large sunken ship. Built in 1942 on a pontoon barge, a superstructure of 2 hollow concrete towers topped with a deck, upon which other structures could be added. The twin towers were divided into 7 floors each, which provided dining and sleeping accommodations and storage areas for generators and munitions. And when it was completed, 3 tugboats towed it out to the rough sandbar 6 miles off the coast, where its pontoon base was deliberately flooded to allow the structure to settle on the sea floor.
Oh,
It's on a sandbar as well, to be fair.
Looks like there's a proper architectural picture of it, like a working drawing. Might be able to figure it out a bit better.
Oh yeah, look at that.
We are taking most of our inspiration for this episode from the history of Sealand on the damninteresting.com website. It's our guide. But yeah, there's a picture on there if you want to look at it. I suppose if you type in pontoon forts of World War II, you'll find something.
So that would have been standing. What has it got its dimensions there? How tall is it, like from the bottom of the pontoon to the top?
Well, it can't be that tall, otherwise it should be too top heavy, wouldn't it?
Are they dimensions on the right? On the right pillar?
Well,
Yes, they are.
If they're split into 7 floors, you can assume that, there's doors in each floor, so a person's got to get through
So you're
it.
talking a couple of metres per floor.
Yeah,
So what, 7 floors is there?
Yep.
14 metres.
14, 15. So you're talking it's about a good 20 metres worth.
Oh, and the base, remember, as well.
Yeah. It would be interesting to have seen something like that, wouldn't it? So that you can imagine that would have just been floating above water on the original pontoon, just a big crazy tall fucking structure.
They'd have built it in the yard, wouldn't they? And then cast it off.
Towed it out,
yeah.
And then they've gone along, got a penknife in the pontoons.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think more of us should live at sea.
I really like this kind of shit because it's British ingenuity in World War II.
Yeah.
We had guys in sheds thinking of ideas that went into mass production as war-winning weapons, and this is a
How
really
can we do
simple,
this in a
cheap
how can we do this in
idea.
an easy way?
really
Yeah.
simple, cheap way to fortify your coastline.
Because you know for a fact there would have been other countries thinking of this kind of thing, and they would have been working out how to build it in the water.
Well,
Do you know what I mean? Like there will be other people that have done that, but they've built it into the water instead of we've gone.
Well, the Germans just
Build
built
it first.
the Germans just built the Atlantic Wall, didn't they? They didn't even bother putting anything out at sea. They just had the Atlantic Wall. Get through that.
What was that then?
The line of fortifications ran from Norway all the way along to the south of France. It was designed to stop us invading. Obviously strongest at certain invasion points, like Calais was the most heavily fortified because it's the shortest trip from the Channel from England to France, but obviously we confounded them by landing at Normandy instead of the widest part of the Channel, which wasn't so heavily fortified. But yeah, we went for this because at the end of the day we needed cheap solutions. You know, we're on our own at this point. Oh, happy Treason Day to our American listeners. We're recording this just after July 4th. So,
Happy Independence Day, guys.
belated happy Treason Day, you ungrateful colonials. Sorry. Hope you have a good one. Once Rough Tower's wartime duties were done and the Royal Navy cleaned it out, it sat unoccupied for a number of years, and its first new tenants appeared sometime in 1967 when a group of pirate radio broadcasters operating out of nearby anchored ships, i.e. Radio Caroline.
Cool.
If anyone's ever seen The Boat That Rocked or is aware of the Radio Caroline story, basically in Britain in 1967 you had the BBC.
And that was it.
That was
no one
it.
else.
Nobody
was
else.
allowed.
And BBC Radio only played pop music once a week for an hour. So if you wanted to go a young teenager in Britain and you didn't want to listen to someone going, "This is the BBC World Service," every night, you tuned into a pirate radio station. And
they'd
obviously
operate off the shores, wouldn't they?
they'd operate off the shores, just inside British
Eventually,
water.
yeah.
when they realised that the only way they could do it and get away with it, because obviously for years they were just getting, they'd be doing it in different buildings, wouldn't they? And then they'd have they would have lookouts, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, right, quick, they're coming, quick! Everyone would
Pack the equipment up. Let's get out of here.
Has anyone ever seen People Just Do Nothing?
No,
BBC comedy series about a pirate radio station in Brentford.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's fucking great if you get to see it. It's well funny.
But yeah, so to combat that, everyone started
Using ships,
getting
and
boats
obviously
and
Caroline was the ship. It was an old merchant ship that they either bought or nicked or whatever. I forget, to be fair.
more than likely nicked.
It was a rusting fucking hulk in all fairness, but they got it going and got it out to sea. Eventually it sank. When a group of private radio broadcasters operating out of nearby anchored ships wanted a place to land their resupply helicopters. But in September of that year, a competing pirate broadcaster named Roy Bates physically evicted Rough Tower's illegal tenants and became a squatter himself. Roy Bates had previously operated a low-power station called Radio Essex for another sea barge, but it had been within the 3-mile area of British legal controls, and he'd been caught and fined. So he and his 15-year-old son Michael gathered up the equipment, hauled it out to Rough's Tower, and after a bit of a fight, took over control.
This is what I was wanting to know when you said at the beginning how they'd taken it by force, essentially. Physically evicted. How? What happened? What did they do? Did they go in with guns or
Prince
baseball
Roy always
bats?
seems to have a fucking shotgun somewhere, and Sealand itself nowadays literally does have racks of weapons on standby.
And he's ex-military.
And he's an ex-military guy. Roy Bates was the youngest major in the British Army at one point. He is quite a character, let's say. I like the guy, actually. Watched an interview with him on the documentary Mike sent over, and he's like, "Look, I would, would you ever do anything to harm the interests of Britain?" He's like, "Look, I was raised as a Brit, raised an Englishman and a Brit, served in the British Army. I'd never do anything to hurt the country." The Argentinians wanted him to fucking, during the Falklands War, wanted him to give them Sealand so they could, move shit up. And he was like, "No, no, not doing that." And he stood firm against everyone that's trying to take this platform off him. I'll give him that. I think Michael, his son, has also had a fucking tremendous life just tagging around with his mad dad. I mean, he's 15 years old. Here's a shotgun, Michael. We're going to storm an off-sea platform.
Yeah, but he's got to spend most of his life living on that thing now. Claire said it, wouldn't it be great if everyone lived out at sea? Yeah, if it's the Pacific Ocean. Nice and calm and warm most year round. Not the North Sea.
No.
It's gusty.
Gale Force 9 winds in most of the winter.
So you're a prisoner in a concrete tube under the sea for most of the year.
It's a 20 to 30 minute flight by helicopter from London airport, and that's if the helicopter can land because of the wind.
Right. Where do they get food in like them?
They fish and they have resupply flights, obviously.
And boats.
And boats.
And that,
But even nowadays, to get up there by helicopters preferred, because by boat their winching system's still really primitive, so it's just you standing on the cargo net, holding onto the rope as they winch you out the boat.
Onto the platform.
Onto the platform.
Sounds like an adventure to me. That does. I'd be like Captain Jack Sparrow. Should we go and take it ourselves? Let's do it.
No, if they're armed to the teeth, not a chance. We'd never get that kind of
Do you
firepower.
think they still are?
Yeah,
Yes, they are, yeah. rifles, shotguns.
I've not seen anything
all
recent on it.
Most of their they have certain guards. I think they say 6 guards in the summer and 3 in the winter, something like that.
Yeah.
Always armed on deck, just in case.
Who's going to take it these days?
Well,
They're paranoid,
the
aren't they?
government in exile, but we'll get to it. The tower never did become home to pirate radio, however, as English laws changed soon thereafter to make seaborne pirate transmissions illegal even outside of the 3-mile radius. Nevertheless, Roy Bates maintained his control of Ruff's Tower and declared it the Principality of Sealand, a sovereign independent state. And this was after consulting with an attorney who found a loophole allowing Roy to claim the fort due to the fact that it was in international waters and that it was up for grabs due to, quote, dereliction of sovereignty. Since it was outside of England's legally controlled area, there was nothing the Royal Navy could do about this, but they did demolish another fort that stood beyond the 3-mile boundary to prevent a similar takeover there, and apparently shouted, "You're next!" as they sailed off.
Oh, no way.
Bloody Navy.
Took out his neighbours or potential.
I think that one was abandoned. Yeah, but it could have been. You could have had like little platform wars. It could have gone terrible. The following year, the legitimacy of this self-declared state would be put to the test when Michael Bates fired a warning shot at a British Trinity House vessel which approached the tower, and this led to Roy Bates' arrest when he would next arrive on the mainland. The case against Roy and Michael Bates was brought to court, where the judge ruled that Sealand was outside of British jurisdiction, therefore no ruling could be made against them for their actions, and the authorities decided not to appeal this ruling, as it may have led to an undesirable precedent, which is the whole point of this. If the second they drag him into court, they recognise Sealand.
Yeah.
Because whatever he does out there, if the British government says, well, come to court on the mainland, alright, well, I'm Prince Michael of Sealand and you'll have to address me, so that's my name. That's my title, and they have to recognise Sealand, which the British government has never done.
Yeah.
So they basically got a fucking... They've got a free hand, essentially.
Yeah. For a loophole, legal loophole.
Now, things were relatively calm for a time after that, and Roy was approached by a few shady groups seeking to use his platform for their own ends, including smugglers, but he turned them all away, insisting he'd do nothing to harm the UK, and they proclaimed the Constitution of the Principality in 1975 on his wife's birthday, Princess Joan. She was given the title on her birthday. I'm sure, Claire, you'd like that if Jamie bought an oil rig and declared you a princess on your birthday.
Yeah, great. I'd wave at all the passers-by.
The seagulls.
Claire's walking through Telford Town Centre like going... Everyone's like,
we'd be on a sea vessel.
Oh, so if he bought one, you
Yeah,
just
just
go
the
and move there,
seagulls.
that'll be it.
Well, Princess Joan, used to go back to the UK to visit her mates, because they all make trips to the UK for supplies and shopping, and the fact that you're stuck on a fucking oil rig, to be fair. And she would she'd meet her friends.
I'm guessing. Then.
They were fairly wealthy, yeah. I mean,
Well, he was an ex-army general, was he?
major. So, but you've still got to be. He's of that class. He's of officer class.
And living was a hell of a lot cheaper in them days.
Also true. She was, oh yeah, like, my friends take the mick and they call me princess and all that, because like we kind of have fun with it. And I like that. It's just, you know,
Yeah. I'd do a Phoebe, I would, if I was her. Like, I'd be like, well, if I'm going to be a princess, I might as well make it all the way and I go for like Consuela Banana Hammock or something.
So they developed a flag, a national anthem, postage stamps, currency and passports in the following years. And the national seal was designed to incorporate Sealand's national motto of E Mare Libertas, meaning from the sea, freedom. It's a pretty badass crest as well. There's 2 dragon bodies with lion heads, a knight under the crownlets on the...
They have just gone like, right.
Was that a fist?
A fist holding lightning bolts.
They have just gone like, right, what's the coolest fucking shit we can put on our emblem?
Let's have a bit of
Well, I
everything.
want a dragon. Oh, I want a lion. I want some lightning and fists and...
Is that a big orb on the top?
I think it's a sun.
It looks like that orb that... Do you remember when Trump went to Saudi Arabia?
And pondered his orb.
And they all like put their hands on that orb. Do you remember that, Pete?
I never saw that.
What the fuck was that all about? Looked like fucking evil, like... fucking-
Sauron or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
They were pondering the orb, Mike.
Looks like one of them.
It does look a bit like the Eye of
I think-
Sauron, actually.
It is. I think it's the sun because it's yellow.
Or it's the Eye of Sauron mixed with Thor. And his
With a mailed fist holding lightning bolts.
That's the Thor part.
Which I'm pretty sure Warhammer 40,000 nicked that bit off them. That seems familiar. Yeah, so in August of 1978, so 10 years after independence, Prince Roy at this point, because it's a principality, so it's Prince Roy, Princess Joan and Prince Michael, were approached by a consortium of German and Dutch diamond merchants who wanted him to fly to Austria to entertain a business proposition. Upon their arrival, he and his wife Joan were met by 5 men who arranged for a meeting later that day. The meeting time came and went without any word from the men. Concerned, Roy and his wife tried to make contact with their son Michael at Sealand. And since there was no phone or radio on the artificial island, they had to call local fishermen and the Coast Guard. One of the fishermen reported, "I saw a big helicopter hovering over Sealand." Those things were starting to look suspicious. Their worries were confirmed when they finally heard from Michael many days later, and he made an interesting mistake as being a good host. So this helicopter touches down, these guys get off, he grabs a pistol,
Good, yeah.
goes outside, they say, "Oh, we're associates with your father, we're here to discuss a business deal, and we're waiting for your dad to come back." So he's like, "Okay, alright," and he knows his dad's gone to business. There's no, the communication's shoddy at best, you got a lot of fishermen to shout things from boats. So he goes into the kitchen to get these guys a whiskey, he's being a good host. And they just shut the door behind him and lock him in.
Right.
And these guys were armed, so, there's no shooting your way out in that scenario. They locked him in the cell after that for 3 days without food or water, then put him on a Dutch vessel which dropped him off in Holland with no money. Upon landing, they took the assistance of the Prime Minister that Roy had appointed, a man named Alexander C. Achenbach, who was a lawyer. Achenbach's an interesting one. He was appointed, basically Roy appointed him to go out there and say, "Look, we've got this constitution, can you recognise us?" I told the countries, they wanted recognition as a country.
Yeah.
So he was made Prime Minister. He then decided he should just take the place. It's a coup. You got a coup going on over a fucking oil platform. It's like 36 feet long or something daft like that. Or wide, 36 feet wide or something like that. It's
But
ridiculous.
there is money
tiny.
to be made there, isn't there? You
Off
know,
the
so-
coast, yeah. But remember, I think it's a little short-sighted because the second you start smuggling diamonds into Britain or whatever off this thing, Royal Navy's just going to show up and blow it up, aren't they? Surely. It's not Roy's anymore. It's not Prince Roy's anymore because it's been taken by someone else. It's been taken over by criminals. So they'd be well within their rights just to freaking cruise missile it, wouldn't they?
I don't know, maybe they have to go through Interpol. Different country, isn't it?
I suppose so.
I don't know.
They'd have to consider
The
that.
thing is, it's almost like Britain having another Cuba. It's like Britain's Cuba off its coast, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you think about it. Who knows who these guys are going to sell that platform to?
Well, surely Prince, what's his name's going to get it back, isn't he?
Well, yes. Yes, he does. They enlist armed assistance. Presumably from some of Prince Roy's army mates, ex-army mates.
Some henchmen.
So the Prime Minister,
Seized the platform with a group of mercenaries.
so it was planned from the inside then, basically.
Yeah.
So they're giving this guy power of being the Prime Minister of the place, and you've gone, right, now I'm going to take advantage of this, you two nice people.
Well, that's it, because Prince Roy's declined smugglers and the Argentinians and various other people who want to use it for nefarious purposes.
Yeah.
And this guy's thought, well, you know what? Let's get rid of him and we can make some money here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they got armed assistance from a group of Prince Roy's army mates, including a helicopter pilot who'd done work on the James Bond movies.
Yeah.
And they headed back to Sealand to storm the fortress and take back their country.
Yeah.
So they're coming in, choppers. They have to fast rope 100 feet down because the wind's that bad. Right, so they're literally just down the rope, 100 feet. Michael lands on the deck with a shotgun, accidentally fires a shot as he lands. Right, what we call a negligent discharge. And everyone else, and they all surrender.
They obviously thought you meant business.
That's it. So they all surrendered, and they were held as prisoners of war until their home countries petitioned for release.
That is fucking hilarious.
Apart from Achenbach, who was kept in a cell for 3 months in the brig, and they had to clean the toilets. He was only let out to clean the toilets and have a bit of a walk around the deck, and that was it.
Human rights issues there, innit?
And then they dropped him off in Holland. Or they got the arrangement he dropped off in Holland.
What can you do? You can't petition the UN because it's not recognised. You can't petition Britain because they don't own it.
Well, that's why you'd have to recognise it and reach
But as
out.
soon as you recognise it, then it's giving them legitimacy. It's giving them what they want. It's a catch-22, innit?
Yeah.
Of course it is. The second you recognise the fact they exist,
They lose all.
they gain recognition as a nation then.
Yeah.
This is the thing that's bugged the British government for fucking years. Their sovereignty and legitimacy are not recognised by any traditional states, although it is perhaps the best known micronation in the world, even though its inhabitable area is only 550 square metres. It's quietly tolerated by the UK, which still thinks it should own the sandbar in which one Sealand sits, although recent declassified documents show the UK drafted plans to take the tower by force over 30 years ago. But such plans were not implemented due to the potential for loss of life and the public relations disaster that would have followed.
Yeah, because
People had died.
You started, you see,
they'd have made up some nonsense about it, wouldn't they?
yeah.
They'd have made out they were some kind of fucking crazy killer cult or something, and
You'd be sending Royal Marines to storm what is another well, who knows what it is in this scenario. They argue they're rogue.
Well, we give it up in the first place, so it's a bit embarrassing. It's like, oh shit, we want it back. You know.
yeah, our government abandoned it.
Yeah.
And was like, fuck it, we don't need it anymore.
Well, I don't know, it's basically just a bit of a thorn in Britain's side, really. It's kind of sat there.
Bit of an embarrassment, innit?
It's like, oh shit, we can't do anything about that.
Well, they should have dismantled it when they had the chance, shouldn't they? You know, when they just disowned it.
They should have, but I guess you've got to look at defence spending in 1960-something Britain was not exactly high, so demolishing these things wouldn't have been a
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah, definitely not.
They probably thought it wouldn't last that much longer.
That's also true.
And they probably didn't bank on anybody fucking taking it as a home.
Well, exactly.
That's also another thing. I mean, who really knows that's there apart from a few fishermen?
And who's got the money to get them helicopters or get that boat in and you know.
That's it. I mean, they did ransom that guy, what was his name again, the Prime Minister, back as well for like 36,000. So, I mean, their main income now is cockle fishing. So they keep going. And they sell titles.
And coins.
Coins.
Commemorative coins.
You can buy a yard of Sealand for 10 years should you want to.
You become a Lord and Lady of Sealand.
What?
You get a
Are you allowed to
certificate.
visit?
I guess.
They are a bit strict on visitors.
If you become a Lord or Lady.
You have to take your passport with you, they stamp it.
Okay.
You know, you go through customs and everything. God, I wonder if you can sort of smoke inside on there.
I don't know.
Depends if the prince is a smoker or not.
Yeah, it depends on the law that he's set, innit?
Yeah, you go, Prince Michael, can I have a ciggy or what? I can't light a fag in a Force 9 gale.
Yeah, I reckon if there were smokers on there, they'd have like some little smoking area, wouldn't they? They'd have to have.
I think you saw the 1980s travel video of Sealand, which was fantastic, by the way, just for the... You can check it out on YouTube, listen to it. I can't remember what fucking it's called now. It's like a 1980s British travel guide to Sealand. It's about 10-minute long video. But it was so gloriously 1980s, it was fantastic. He looked drab inside. They interviewed that bloke, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I can't see me ever leaving. I love it here. And his missy, oh, we've got the wife here for company. Never interviewed her, though. I thought that. Why didn't they interview his wife?
They cut that interview.
Yeah, I want to go home. Then again, they probably get trips back to the UK if they want fairly regular. There's a helicopter coming in on a resupply. You probably come in once a week, every 3 days, something like that. You could have 3 days in the UK. You just go out with a chopper, couldn't you? Come
Yeah,
back
but
for the next one.
it's a bit of a cushy life, innit? You're a guard.
If you're a guard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're getting bored and you're getting fed and everything.
And I imagine the diet's not particularly varied. Like cockles, I'd imagine.
A lot of
Like
seafood.
fish.
Yeah, if they're getting regular food supply drops kind of thing.
I bet it's all like canned and preserved though, isn't it? I mean, a
Rice,
little bit of
that's
fresh.
the-
Smash. Instant mash. God, I love instant mash, but I'm going.
I don't know, potatoes last a couple of weeks. Right conditions.
Few months.
Yeah. We had them on the submarine for about 2 months before we started getting the smash, the instant potatoes.
Oh, a bit of smash.
Yeah, it was about a good
Me
two,
too.
good 2 months into it. The apples and the potatoes, that it was like the end of it. It was like, right, these are your last apples, lads. Oh no!
No, we're going to get scurvy.
Then we had plenty of like fresh orange juice and shit like that though. So, and then it was all frozen. You had frozen eggs as well, eggs in a milk carton. Basically, that's what it looked like.
Wow.
So it is literally just eggs in a milk carton, but that gets frozen, and so you still have pretty much fresh eggs. All the
Wow.
way
Eggs
through.
frozen milk.
No eggs frozen in milk carton.
It's like a milk carton.
But
That's
full
the
of
only way I
eggs.
can understand. But yeah, it's full of runny egg. He's like tipping out like, oh, there's
That's
an
how
egg.
they make the scrambled egg at McDonald's. They look like milk cartons. And you just tip it out and then you do the back and forward motion to make.
Other
Scrambled
burger
egg.
franchises are available.
Sealand's electrical generators are now tasked with powering the servers for Haven Co. That's where they make some more money. A data hosting services company which was started on Sealand in the year 2000, and the Bates are leasing the country exclusively to Haven Co. Limited, which offers unparalleled security and independence to users who wish to take advantage of its internet co-location services. So I'm guessing you use a different server, don't you, off the main? So you don't use Google, Mike. You use DuckDuckGo.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go through normal internet channels. All your information
It's
goes
like
to a
the
secure
VPNs.
server.
The VPN.
VPN, that's it, a VPN.
I remember Ian used to do that.
Yeah.
He used to do so he could watch the American
Netflix and stuff like that, yeah. Which apparently is so much better than the UK version.
They have more.
Yeah.
They do, but they have less in the sense because there's a lot of like the British stuff isn't on there.
Yeah.
So they have more
American
in the
stuff.
sense that it's different.
Yeah.
Now, apparently there's no smoking or drinking allowed in Sealand.
Yeah.
Answer that question then. If there's no drinking, why was he going to pour him a whiskey?
Then maybe they keep it for guests. Who knows?
Maybe it's only for the princess and the prince.
Yeah, you don't want your population getting pissed and rebelling against you, do you? Especially with them firearms lying
And
around.
falling off the edge of
Or
the
falling off
platform.
the edge.
That's probably the main reason. isn't it?
Yeah. Because you're going to piss off the edge at some point, aren't you? And if you're drunk,
Thing is,
you're going
you're
to piss off the edge. That wind's going to gust, and you're going to go straight over. You're a bit unsteady as it is, you know, that backwards and forwards, unsteadily drunk piss. Before you know it, gust of wind, you're off the edge.
Didn't say they're not allowed hash brownies though.
It's true, valid point. So no smoking or drinking. No one is allowed more than 3 5-minute showers per week in the interest of conserving fresh water, which most of it is collected from the rain, I guess. That travel documentary said that there was 36 people on, and that was when that was made. I'm guessing it stayed around that.
So it was only 150 to 300 when it was in operations, or
Yeah, when it was in operation, there was about anywhere from 150 to 300 people stationed, Navy personnel stationed on there. Now there's about 36-ish.
and
Would
that's
be cramped with 300, wouldn't it?
yeah, and 36 is enough to be a mini nation,
Yeah.
Yeah, micronation.
micronation.
If you think about it, it's got no right not to be, has it? It's in international waters. There's a bunch of people that live there that recognise themselves as Sealanders. They have passports. They have currency. They have a nationality. There's a flag. There's an anthem. And they have got a football team. Believe it or not, they've got a football team.
Where the fuck do they put it on the top?
I guess so.
They've got 72-year-old Frank in goal.
Ball's gone in the ocean again. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Down
oh,
ball.
well, maybe
They
so.
practice
Get
on a
through football,
they,
don't they?
they obviously practice their skills on a Sabutio.
Just playing FIFA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, who's anyone to deny them being a nation is my thing.
Yeah,
I
I
join
suppose there isn't a number on it, is there? How many
I mean,
needs to be a nation?
And that's it. I mean, as long as I suppose, look at the Falklands. you know, there wasn't a massive population there, but they considered themselves British enough for us to retake it. I mean, this is in international waters. They've all gone to live there willingly and say, we're part of this. This is us. We're Sealand. We're Sealanders. There's my Sealand passport. This is all the red tape you want from me to get into places. Ironically, the government in exile produced over 300 Sealand passports as fakes and give them to criminals, which led to a lot of trouble for them. And Prince William was like, that's why they don't issue them anymore.
I thought you'd have to have them specially made, especially these days, and the prince would know exactly who he's handed them out to.
Yeah. Obviously, Prince Michael's there still, as far as we're aware.
No, it says no original royalty among the residents.
That's what he's got to be getting on a bit, hasn't he?
There's a caretaker that lives there now, with guards.
A caretaker?
Yeah.
I guess they'll pass it on to whoever.
If they're kids, I guess them.
Well, who's paying the guards?
They are.
They're living there, they're getting the food supplied to them. They're getting paid, I guess they have to buy certain things to keep the economy going.
But they get money, don't they, from selling these coins and these titles.
That pays for their food supplies, I guess, and the cockle fishing.
So he's moved back to
Yeah, because of health
England
reasons.
because he's old and
Yeah,
Where's Michael gone?
but there,
That's him, yeah.
that's Michael, yeah.
Oh.
well, it's saying so, but there's some big changes in store potentially.
Potentially increasing the size of it to allow for a hotel/casino resort, but I don't think it should.
Oh, I think it should.
I think it well should. That would be ace.
No,
Slides coming out of it
No,
into the
fucking,
sea.
it'd be terrible.
No, it's the North Sea, darling.
It would literally be.
No one's going to want to do that.
It's off the Thames.
No, it's you're only
6 miles.
6 miles out. In the
Cold.
winter, it's cold. It's very cold.
Summer, it'll be alright, wouldn't
Just
it?
about.
Still not warm.
It'd be warmish, wouldn't
No, would
it?
it fuck the water? Would still be
Yeah.
bastard freezing in the
Oh, the
summer.
water, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, you get some sun.
Still between here
You
and
might get a
France.
few weeks in the height of summer. That's
Even
about it.
then, unless you're only within like a hundred. Well, I was saying that's quite shallow water, actually, isn't it? There, clearly.
They said it was a big sandbank, didn't they?
Yeah, I suppose with the shallow water, because obviously you got.
I'm not diving into it.
Okay, I think let's do what Dubai did, yeah, and build up
build
that
it up,
sandbank, and it can be like the resort and beach.
Isn't that sinking?
I don't know.
I think it might be. I'm not sure.
Well, it will do if the sea levels rise, won't it?
Oh yeah, and because it's all made out of like, cause they like sort of dredge up the sand from over here with a big sort of barge, and then move it over to make that big palm tree, haven't they? You know,
Beautiful,
all
though. Have you ever
sorts.
seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they go out in the back garden onto the beach, obviously. It's
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
one of the best engineering feats done in the last X amount of years. It's fantastic.
You know, surely we could do something like that.
Yeah, but you've got to have the money and the political will, and no one wants to take that gamble at the moment.
And it's not,
We're not in
it's
Dubai
ours.
either.
It's not ours either, is
They'd
it?
have to fund it themselves or get
Yeah.
outside funding.
It'd be independent funded, wouldn't it? It would.
No,
but no.
all they'd have to do is fucking sell it to a big casino resort people that are billions.
I know, but
You know what I mean?
I prefer it to be just fucking.
I've got a
as
better
it is.
idea.
Ben,
Sell it
it's got progress.
Sell it to Elon Musk. He can turn it into a new launch pad.
No, he'll turn on us. What do you think?
Elon, do you think he's gonna? You think he's gonna go crazy become a
Yeah.
supervillain?
Yeah.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me.
Although
Well,
his
that's super
rocket.
villain.
Then we're gonna need like. This is why Bill Gates is actually Iron Man, isn't he?
Do you think?
Elon's gonna be the villain, and it's gonna be next guy down is Bill Gates, isn't it?
He's the mastermind of evil, isn't he?
I thought Elon was.
no,
So is Bill
boss.
Gates Palpatine?
Yes.
Bill Gates is the overall.
Is Palpatine.
Yeah.
According to conspiracy theory, so and then you've got
Our
Elon
own.
is Darth Vader.
Our own
Yeah.
conspiracy theory we're just making up right now.
Or
A
where's
lot of people
George?
seem to think Bill Gates is really evil.
No, I think he is
Yeah.
as well.
I've never
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
into this too
He's
much.
done
I
some
need to.
pretty shit things in India, hasn't he, with the
He's
farmers?
banned from going to India and things like that.
Really?
He's killed thousands of fucking kids and things like that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, testing out vaccines.
Well,
I
on
don't know. Come on, that's launching to
I need
conspiracy
to see
theory.
some evidence.
level.
Don't know
Fuck
whether
that.
I don't know whether these are true or not, but trust me,
All
there's
right, you know
plenty of articles out there that say this kind of thing about
Well, okay,
But he has
add it to your
definitely-
list and we'll look at it.
it. Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
But
Add
he
it
has-
to your list and we'll look at
But
it.
he has definitely scammed the Indian farmers.
They were having massive protests,
Yeah.
weren't they? Which is really unreported in the West, by the way.
Why is he scammed them?
Because he's bought the land, and he said that you've got to use my equipment and all my seeds and everything, and and obviously the farmers, are poor as it is, they can't afford to rent the seeds and the equipment and shit. I have to look into it, but yeah, it's pretty fucked
We
up.
will look into it. There was something to do with land as well as I can't remember, but yeah.
Anyway, let's get into the government in exile.
The government in exile is an esoteric right-wing, radical and anti-Semitic government.
So we definitely don't want them fuckers getting control of Sealand.
Their
Have
website-
Nazis 6 miles.
Their website has fucking UFOs powered by the Vril. Do you know what Vril is, guys? It's this element that the Nazis thought was going to power everything. It's a
Cosmic elemental force.
That's it, a cosmic elemental force.
And I reckon they used it in Atlantis and things.
Yeah. Oh, mate, this is just too mental for words.
Yeah, go on.
So in Germany, a group this is Google translated, so it's not going to be fantastic. So in Germany, a group belonging to the Reich Citizens Movement claims control of the Sealand fortress. The group has therefore proclaimed a self-appointed government in exile, which is based in the Westphalian town of Rieder Weidenbruck. It was the residence of the main activist, Johann Sieger, and on a former chicken farm in Trebin, Brandenburg. The Federal Republic of Germany is not regarded as a state by this government in exile on the grounds that it was in breach of international law and perished in the course of reunification. The FDR was East Germany, was it not? No, it wasn't.
No, the Westphalian, it still could be in the east, couldn't it?
No, I'm wrong. The East German state was like the Democratic Republic of Germany, because they always communists always stick democratic in front of a name, don't they? Yeah, the federal one is the West. The group operates a Vrilia Government Commission, which refers to world dynamicism and Vril energy as a cosmic elemental force. I'm quoting this, by the way, everyone. And the rebirth of Atlantis, according to a Reich working group, The Coming Germany. Right, okay. Vril technology could be used in Formula 1.
Quality!
Apparently the Red Bull racing team was offered to use 3 Vril generators.
That was in 2015.
Sorry, what's a Vril again?
Oh God, this cosmic chemical that ties into Nazi occultism and powers UFOs, and
Right.
we did an episode on Vril.
Yeah, definitely.
We did mention it a long time ago. It might have been our first ever episode.
I want to find some.
And that's like, how many episodes are we in now?
Sounds Vril.
I hope you
See, the activists guaranteed the Red Bull racing team first to third place in the championship ranking for the 2015 racing season when using such generators. And in addition, according to Sealand activists, there are still allegedly still in use Reich flying discs of Nazi flying saucers.
The construction plans in the hands of the Sealand group.
Yep, and they also know the locations of said flying discs, and they can get the Vril to power them. On their websites, the self-proclaimed government in exile is Adrian Ullmann, Johann Sieger as Prime Minister, and Josef Bayer as Foreign Minister, and Wolfgang Ebel as Commissary Reich Government. That's fantastic. Sounds a bit Nazi-ish though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
Translation
surprised.
isn't great because it's translated from German.
It is. I've had to sort of skip through it a little bit and make sense of what I can. They're a bit mental. Whereas Sealand, the British Sealand guys, just like, let's sell some titles and coins. These guys are advocating Nazi flying saucers and Vril.
They wanted €1 million and they'd give Red Bull the power of Vril. I mean, so basically everyone else is driving around the track, hold on, and all of a sudden Red Bull just switch on the Vril generator and just sort of like Back to the Future it.
I want to see, remember the first Men in Black movie?
Yeah.
When he's like, that red button?
Yeah.
Don't ever press the red button. He's like, that red button, press it. And the back of the car just turns into a massive rocket. And they go upside down. I want that to be it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm imagining. Of
I was imagining
Vril.
sort of back body,
That's what I'm imagining. That's why I want to get
The
some.
rest of it is for only €1 million, which is, let's face it, fuck all to a Formula 1 team, €1 million. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? They're promising them first to third. Why
I think
first to third?
I think they're being generous. I think
It's a terrible deal. It's a terrible deal, Amanda. €1 million as we can get you first to
A
third.
terrible deal for who?
The Sealand government in exile.
Yeah, I know.
They should be getting like 100 million.
Yeah.
We'll guarantee you first to third. Give us 100 million.
Why
With real
first to-
technology? No, it's €1 million.
That is a bit Dr. Evil-ish, isn't it? Oh shit.
First to third.
I mean,
We
fuck
can
me.
guarantee you third place.
If you fly in, I expect it to be first. You know what I mean?
No, I guess there's a rule in Formula 1 that all cars have to be stuck to the track.
Well, then you can't use it then, can
You
you?
can, because you just
They're going to be
use the
disqualified.
road. No,
That
you
wasn't
use the
in the
road,
rules
you just
this
fucking
weekend.
boom! Past them, didn't you? Night, it's like, think of it be like a
They
night
use it
just...
for hovering flying discs, don't they?
Yeah, but how fast do those go?
So maybe
So how fast can a car go?
was it Haas? No, Alpine. Who was the fucking team that Bottas and
No idea.
Joe?
No,
Guan Yu-
Formula 1 is a mystery to me.
No, I was wondering whether they've taken on this frill technology because he flew the other day. Have you not seen that crash that happened at the British Formula 1?
Oh, I heard about it, but I didn't see it. I know the one driver stopped his car and jumped out and went to help him. That was quite nice.
Joe Guan Yu went into George Russell, or George Russell went into Joe Guan Yu.
Their car's hit.
Yeah, and he literally
There wasn't a sexual
it
intercourse.
flipped over and then was just spinning on its roof.
Wow.
You think Formula 1 car, my God, how lucky they invented the halo system, because if not, end game for him that day.
Isn't it called the Iron Halo?
It's just the halo
No,
system.
I know what Iron Halo is one of 40,000, sorry. There's a force field.
But no, it definitely flew. So I'm
Wow.
wondering whether they've been taking on this real technology.
Maybe someone's
I
taking
don't
a
think it's real, Pete.
I know, I'm joking. You fool. Yeah, where's the proof of this real technology thing?
Well,
Like,
the Nazis allegedly had it and didn't win the war. I think we can assume that this is crap. 'Cause if they had flying saucers in 1944, they'd have won the war.
We actually covered this on our very first episode.
wow.
Did you?
Putting to the ball on it.
Yeah, it was, yeah. World War II occultism, because we couldn't say Nazi in the title.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, shocking.
So
what's it
Sealand
gonna do?
then?
Sealand, I think they should stay as they are, keep us a micronation, get more money in, through like hosting servers and shit like that. Fuck it, don't sell out to casinos, don't become capitalist whores.
Can't stop progress.
I think casinos,
I think
slides,
resort. I think some kind of
resorts,
resort.
Build it up, make it a
Who wants a
beach,
resort like that?
Airbnb it, fuck it.
Lots of people would. Imagine that. It's almost like
We're
having
off to Sealand,
it's
we're
like
going to have to
having-
take our passports. It's
It-
like Brosley, isn't it?
It could be like, it could almost be like going on a cruise, but not having to deal with rough seas and bobbing around and seasickness, because you're just on a sturdy platform, but you're in the middle of the ocean. So it could be grown.
But then they become corrupted and vile and horrible and just another shrine
You
to
don't think it's corrupted?
decadence.
You don't think it's corrupted already?
I think they're living
There's a good
simple
chance.
I'd rather them though than the Nazi guys.
Well,
Oh god, yeah. I don't want Nazi flying sauce off the coast of Britain, Mike. That'd be a
6
terrible
miles
idea.
away.
I think it'd be a great wedding venue as well, The sun going down.
And getting a picture in your wedding dress on a Gale Force 9 windy fucking platform.
The bride gets swept away to sea. The bride gets swept away
You
to
couldn't,
sea.
you couldn't wear the wedding dress with the what's it called, the thing behind it,
The trail.
the trail, because you'd just be a parachute, wouldn't it? In a Gale Force 9 winds.
That'd be
There
hilarious.
If they just
nice
bribed me
days
off like
though,
Mary
aren't there?
Poppins.
Come on, there'd be some nice days.
A few in the summer, yeah.
Well, I'm going for stay as you are, live your damn lives, be free of the man. Don't sell out.
Fucked up facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, mum. Alright.
Team tune.
Facts,
fucked up facts, facts.
Beautiful.
That wasn't bad, actually. Right, here's some fucked up knowledge, Mike.
In the USA, November the 6th is the official awareness day of nachos, saxophones and stopping shouting.
What?
The nachos I can get behind. Saxophones I hate with a passion. Despise a saxophone.
I like a saxophone.
And what was the other one?
Stopping shouting, well, no one likes that.
I love to shout. I'm
No,
not stopping shouting. I'm down for the nachos.
So what's it saying? You're not allowed to eat nachos on that day?
No, it's the official awareness day of nachos. It's to
Awareness?
celebrate, I guess.
Right, I was saying, but what do you need to be aware
Oh,
of?
I know. Don't you
They're
think-
great.
You'll probably find in America thousands of children each year lose an eye because of a nacho, because they're triangular, they're dangerous.
Ninja stars.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Be
I'm
aware of the nacho.
I'm hoping it's a positive awareness
No.
day where everyone just eats nachos.
I would imagine it is like National Nacho Day where you must eat nachos.
It is getting ridiculous now, isn't it?
There's a day for everything. isn't there?
Fuck me.
It's like the old medieval saint days, except now we've got corporations instead. Saint Starbucks Day,
Yeah.
Saint Nacho Day. Interesting. Has capitalism replaced religion, Mike?
I think every day has got its own thing now. pretty
Capitalism,
much,
yeah,
isn't
it has. It's its own religion, mate, now. It's profits are now profits, aren't they?
Yeah. Profits are profits. You should do that song called that. Profits are profits. Spell it differently in the title.
Profits with a F.
Yeah.
Not flushing a public toilet after you've used it is a crime in Singapore.
So it fucking should be.
Yeah, man.
I hope you get a death penalty for it.
At my new job, there's a sign above the toilet saying if you do not clean the toilet, or if you make a mess of the toilet and don't clean it, it can be construed as gross misconduct.
Really? It says that in the toilet?
It says that in the fucking toilet. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow. I'll show you.
Never.
It's fucking hilarious.
The bogs at my place have got a fantastic sign entitled UK Bathroom Etiquette. And it has a series of pictures like sit on the toilet seat, do not stand on it. Do not use the sink for washing any part of your body other than your hands and face. And stuff like that, because we have a lot of immigrant workers, let's say, people from other countries.
And they wash their ass in the...
Yep.
All
In the
sorts.
sink?
People have said they've walked in and seen one guy washing his dick in the sink.
What? Terrible.
Wrong in it.
So there's a little diagram up. And of course we have a lot of drivers as well from across the continent. There's a whole sign up in every toilet, UK bathroom etiquette. This is what you do, don't flush anything above the toilet roll and don't put it in a bin.
Sit and have a shit.
Sit and have a shit and don't put your toilet roll in. You can flush in this country, it's fine.
Pee in the trough.
The Romans
That's what you
built the
need to do.
sewers, it's fine.
There's been poos in troughs and all sorts.
Where?
I used to work at an airport, at Cardiff Airport. There's been poos found in the troughs. Not by me personally, thank fuck. But no, there was poos found in the troughs.
It was as bad as that shit bucket I found in an abandoned tent at Download one year.
Ew, lovely. That was the toilet tent then.
Yeah.
We had a toilet.
But it was just
didn't
but
we?
it was just a bucket filled to the brim with shit.
Oh no!
Like no one had emptied it all weekend.
That's
Oh.
disgusting.
Everyone was going to different tents, taking stuff. Ben thought his chances are.
I was looking for somewhere to have a fucking shit.
Oh, you found the right place then.
Shit tent.
Oh shit! What did we do with that? How did we have our toilet tent? Was it even used as a toilet, or did we just have it and be like, oh, it's a toilet tent?
No one would
we-
go in it because someone did shit in it and didn't get it, in the bucket or whatever.
Oh.
So we put a flag up, didn't we, and sort of like made another toilet out of the sides of two tents and then a flag.
Oh dear.
But apparently the average Briton spends more time on the toilet than they did exercising.
Can believe it.
That's a terrible fact, isn't it? That. But I don't mean it's a terrible fact. I mean that the fact itself that is awful, isn't it?
It is. But you know, you get there, you just get scrolling, or you start reading an article, or
I think it's all about the lack of exercise.
oh, the lack of
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
I was leading on to that. You know, I'll spend at least 7 minutes a day on the toilet playing my game on the phone. I said, like a game takes about 7.5 minutes. So I'll spend at least that on the toilet at work. I mean, being a healthy,
Yeah.
productive member of the
You
team.
have to do it at work, obviously.
Of course you do, because I'm getting paid for it. The wise man shits on company's time. The fool shits on his own.
It's like an extra break, isn't it?
Exactly.
10 minutes sat on the throne.
Yeah.
No one can say shit either. No one can say
Nope.
anything like, you're not allowed to take 10 minutes having a poo. It's like, why can't I? I was constipated. Or,
Yeah.
you know,
I've got a dodgy stomach.
it's how long it
You-
takes me.
I've got a dodgy stomach, you're lucky I'm here today.
That is funny. Was that an offshoot from the for the first fact, was it? Or?
No, just a separate fact, just happened to be.
Toilet release?
Yeah.
Oh, the crapper.
In gay slang, a friend of Dorothy is a gay man. I'm sure we've all heard that.
We have?
Yeah.
During the 1980s, the US military conducted a massive investigation to find out who Dorothy
I've
was.
heard that exact fact, yeah. That's true. Yep, it's absolutely true.
Right.
Because in the 1980s, in the American Armed Forces, even though technically homosexuality was still forbidden, there was a don't ask, don't tell policy. No one asked you, and you didn't tell anyone. It was, oh, you were a friend of Dorothy, became slang.
Yeah.
So,
Sailors,
where
so
did Dorothy
who's this?
come from?
Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland.
The
Why?
Lion and the Tin Man have both got really gay voices,
I
haven't they?
suppose they are very feminine, aren't they? Yeah, okay.
It's not a very manly film, I suppose, as well, in
No.
that respect.
No,
Didn't Judy
Okay,
Garland
yeah.
become a bit of a gay icon as well?
probably.
I could be wrong on
And
that.
so all the officers were hearing, who's that, Dorothy?
He's a friend of Dorothy. He's a friend of Dorothy.
Goes up the chain, and the general's like, we have to find out who
Who
this
the
Dorothy
fuck
is.
is Dorothy?
Who the fuck
Because
is
Dorothy could be some kind of fucking spy that's infiltrated agents throughout your entire navy.
With
Or it could be gay slang.
That's quite funny. Fucking the shit. The expense of that investigation.
It was a 1980s American military budget. It was the American Navy budget. They had fucking hundreds of billions. They wanted a 600 ship navy.
Next fact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cat owners are called Dosnerfner in German.
Dosnerfner.
Okay.
Dosnerfner.
Does that translate literally to anything or?
Yeah, means can openers.
Can openers.
Yeah.
Cat owners.
Yeah, are called
Can
can
openers.
openers in German.
Oh, I see.
Always
Because they're
open
always
cans
opening cans
for
of
the
their cats.
Ah.
Can I chuck a little funny fact in?
Yeah.
Shrimps have the ability to sneeze.
Do they?
Wow.
How fucking cool is that?
Oh, a little shrimp underwater.
Little air bubbles.
Yeah. Oh.
They're always cold because they live in cold water, isn't they?
What's cold got to do with sneezing?
He's got a little sneeze on.
But yeah,
You
shrimps.
sneeze when you're cold, don't you?
Shrimps have the ability to sneeze.
No.
How crackers is that?
Yeah.
I like it.
And we'll end on this fact. In 2021, Americans streamed a total of 15 million years worth of content.
Wow.
Never.
That's a lot of streaming. 250 million Americans roughly.
What year? When?
Last year.
Last
During
year.
2021.
Ah, well there was
A lot of
lockdown,
home time.
lockdown,
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
home time.
That's what I was thinking.
I watched a lot.
A porn.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. That and other non-porn related material.
That's all he was streaming, really.
A lot of porn.
I
Lot
bet
of
10%
porn.
of that 15 million years was porn.
I'd say higher.
Yeah, there's
Really?
got to be a good few years.
I don't know,
of that.
blockbuster film like 3 hours, you're not going to sit there and watch porn for 3 hours, are you?
Yeah, but it's done in little bits, in it. You know, you might. I don't know. I think the porn would be higher.
Be higher than the other content.
Be higher than 10%.
So be over 50%, okay.
So how many years did you say?
15 million years.
I reckon 5 million of them.
That's a third.
I reckon
Dude.
5
Yeah,
million.
I go with that. I go with the third actually. Yeah.
I reckon not far out.
Yeah,
5
I go with the
million
third.
hours.
I go with the third is
5 million
pornography.
years. Shit, man.
A lot of people at home, a lot of the time. Yeah.
150 million years.
15 million years.
Sorry, 15 million years.
I'm still going. I'm still
But
going 5
either way,
million.
that's mind fucking boggling.
Yeah.
That really is.
This was a lot of it was Game of Thrones.
Disappointed people.
A lot of disappointed people at the end.
So there's 350 million in America.
That's mad then, if you think about it.
So if everyone watched
Half a year.
streamed continuously for a year, that would be 350 million years worth of content.
Yeah. But that tells you that nearly half of their population streamed pretty much for that whole year.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I'm lost in the maths. Let's not worry about it. Let's just say that a lot of it was porn. Let's go back to the original point. A lot of it was porn.
If it was less
A
than
third.
half, it'd be more than a day.
I will go with a third worth of porn for that year.
Oh, easily. There's a lot of muscular right arms.
It's tense. Nearly ripped my shirt.
I'm not bombshell.
That bombshell. I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Don't drink the flavour aid and don't join a call.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Claire, keeping open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Aim low, shoot high.